Subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with the latest videos from School of Technology, Management and Engineering NMIMS Indore.
With this, we will now begin our session on growing popularity of augmented reality by our session experts for today, Ms. Isha Chandravanshi and Mr. Sam Varghese, students of BTech and MBA Tech second year STME NMIMS Indore. Hope you all enjoy the session. Over to you, Isha and Sam.
Greetings, everyone. Hope everyone is well. I'm Isha Chandravanshi, and this is my classmate Sam Varghese. We are your experts for today, and we'll be your guide through this immersive journey.
Let us quickly go through the pointers that we'll be covering in this session. In order to have a deep understanding of augmented reality, we'll firstly go through what is augmented reality and classification of immersive technologies. We'll then discuss the origin of AR. We shall also perform a practical demonstration in order to show that augmented reality development doesn't require you to be a computer science expert. Anybody with the passion and willingness to get into AR can surely get into this amazing field. And lastly, we'll go through some applications of augmented reality that are already being used by big companies. So, what exactly is augmented reality?
Augmented reality, or AR, is a technology that presents us with virtual objects and information in our field of vision. If I'm looking at a street, for example, and point my smartphone towards that street, it gives me more information, such as names of cafes, gyms, dentists, etc.
In simple words, augmented reality gives you data on the things that you can see. It enhances the screen by adding elements to the real world.
Let us suppose you're walking in the streets of Paris. You see an interesting piece of architecture. It is a large structure that looks like an arc. There are many cars in the area. You want to know what this amazing building is, its architecture, its history, everything about it. Your smartphone has an AR app for the Paris. You hold up your phone and point it at the structure. Your device uses satellite navigation or GPS to work out where you are. On your screen, you see the structure plus lots of little icons with text. One says Arc de Triomphe d'Etoile. That's the name of the structure. And your screen tells you it means triumphal arc of the star. You also learn from the data on your smartphone screen that the monument honors those who fought and died for France in the French Revolutionary Wars. Your augmented reality app gives you information about things in your field of vision, which in this case is the triumphal arc of the star.
Imagine a team of workers in a car factory. They have special goggles which allow them to see what's in front of them and also gives them information that helps them in their work. A worker, for example, looks at a half made car and sees on the screen the words, "Wait for supervisor." The worker knows that he or she must wait. The supervisor also wears goggles and see the words, "Check item 24331 in bay 3." The supervisor immediately goes to bay 3 and sees the worker waiting. Then the text on the screen says, "Give trainee John Smith a second training session on assembling car doors." Augmented reality will one day help coordinate what everybody does in manufacturing plants, computer scientists believe. It could help in hundreds of different ways. This was just one simple example of how manufacturing practices might change in future thanks to augmented reality.
We've talked about potential uses of augmented reality, but there are already companies who have already started to make this dream a reality. Aircraft requires complex wire hiring. Even the slightest mistake in arranging the wires can lead to fatal accidents. Aircrafts have thousands of wires whose information needs to be well documented. Boeing initially used pen and paper to document information, but designing complex aircrafts and harnessing wires became next to impossible with just pen and paper. Even using a computer was not enough, as staring at a screen for the whole day made the job quite tiring, and the room for error was still high. This is the reason Boeing created AR assistant systems, which combine the real world with the digital world. The AR technology can tell the placement, position, and purpose of the specific wire with ease. This decreases the error room and also makes the job less tedious.
The use of this cutting edge technology led to 25% decrease in the production time with nearly zero error rates. Isn't it amazing? I hope you better understand the concept of augmented reality. There are endless possible ways to integrate augmented reality in our daily lives and make it easier. What I want you to do after the session ends is to think of ways to use augmented reality in our daily lives and mail it to either me or Isha. We'll display our email IDs at the end of the session. We will have an interesting conversation regarding the same.
Augmented reality is part of a broader term immersive technologies. Immersive technologies create distinct experiences by merging the physical world with a digital or simulated reality. It can be categorized in three parts: virtual reality or VR, augmented reality or AR, and mixed reality. Let us look at the basic differences between the three technologies. VR, virtual reality, is a simulated experience that can be similar to or completely different from the real world.
Augmented reality or AR is an interactive experience of a real world environment where the objects that reside in the real world are enhanced by computer generated perceptual information. MR or mixed reality is an integration of both the technologies. Ivan Sutherland at 1968 created the first head-mounted display system called the Sword of Damocles. Sutherland at MIT's Lincoln Lab performed what are widely believed to be the first experiments with the head-mounted displays of different kinds.
In 1999, NASA created a hybrid synthetic vision system for their X-38 spacecraft. The system leveraged AR technology to assist in providing better navigation during the test flights. Speaking of augmented reality, Mysterio was able to fool Spider-Man using Edith, which is again an example of augmented reality. Although using his Spidey tingle, Peter was able to take it back. Augmented reality has been pretty awesome so far, right? What if I said you can create your own augmented reality model and use the model to create your own Instagram and Snapchat filters? That has been our purpose for today's session all along, to make you realize that it's not as difficult to create AR models. It is not out of our reach. We as high school and college students can create our very own AR models. To accomplish this, we'll have to use some softwares.
Now, if you Google Best Augmented Reality Software Development Kit, the table is the summation of the responses you'll get. But today, we'll focus mainly on two softwares, Blender and Spark AR. We wanted to demonstrate something that we ourselves use, something that is easy to access, very user friendly, and not that intimidating for a beginner. All you have to do is to get started. First, we'll talk about Blender. Blender is a free and open source 3D computer graphics software toolset used for creating animated films, visual effects, art, 3D printed models, motion graphics, and interactive 3D applications. We basically use Blender software to create a 3D model base.
Now, creating a 3D model can take a lot of time, and by a lot, we mean even weeks and months according to the type of model we are building. We cannot show you the entire making of a model as it is beyond the scope of the time duration of our session. What we can do instead is to show you a glimpse of what you can do using Blender and some basic application of Spark AR. Again, reminding you that this is not a course on Blender or Spark AR, rather a curiosity generator demonstration and a guide in a certain direction towards augmented reality. As you can see in the video, when you open the blended software, this is basically the screen that you'll encounter. You can see there are various tools on the left hand side of the screen. Selecting this basic tool, we can insert elements such as cuboid. We are inserting cuboid cylinders. Sam, can we have the next video?
Sure.
This is the model that we built ourselves. This is the model of a 3D building. We can have a 360-degree view of this. It's quite easy to make actually. So what we'll do right now is show you to implement an object in this 3D model. First, we are deterring the size according to our need. We are changing the width and the height of the model. Now we are going to insert an element, a cylindrical element, right where we want it. See how easy it was. You just need to select the option and just have it placed wherever you want. We inserted another cylinder. Next, we'll show you how to insert a cuboid. We'll also show you, we'll also rotate it and show you varying sizes and directions and dimensions. See, the cuboid is inserted. We are using the pointer tool to make the cuboid placed as ever we want. Using this simple tool, we can deter the size of the element we've inserted. Look how easy it is. Placing it wherever we want. And rotating it. Amazing, right? We can also interact with objects that are within the building that we created, like this structure over here. Sam, can we move on to the next video?
Sure.
Again, this is another model that we ourselves built. This is a building, and inside the building, inside this room, you can see this table. Now we'll be interacting with the surface level of the table. Increasing, decreasing the size. This is the demonstration of selecting various parts of the table. We'll also have a 360-degree view of the building, so you can see the creativity of the structure. Using this, you can basically create your own dream house. Amazing, right? So what we are basically doing here is we're creating a 3D model using Blender tool. Now here, as you can see, this is not a colorful 3D model. What we'll do is we'll add textures and colors to it using the Spark AR software. So we'll take this model that we have built in Blender and then we'll insert it using Blender tool into Spark AR. And then we'll make it, more attractive.
Spark AR Studio is an augmented reality platform for Mac and Windows that allows you to somewhat easily create augmented reality effects for mobile cameras. Think of it like Photoshop or Sketch, but for augmented reality. We'll be using the colorless 3D model from Blender and put it in Spark AR and adding textures.
This is another demonstration that we pre-recorded. This is a 3D model, this entire location that we built in the Blender tool. As you can see, we can, you see these figures fighting and animated. What we did was create those figures in the Blender application, and when we added it into Spark AR, we animated it. So the purpose of this software is to easily animate the 3D objects. Now you can see this tab on the left bottom corner of the screen, where there are various textures displays. So what you need to do with these textures is you need to Google textures for Spark AR on Google and download it. Now, the one requirement for doing so is we need to keep the entire 3D model or augmented reality model within 7 MB. That is the requirement. So, all the textures and graphics that we add into this model needs to take a very less size. Now, again, I'll explain what's happening on the screen. As you can see on the camera view on the top right corner, that is basically our phone screen, and it is basically what we'll be seeing when we turn our phone in this direction. As you can see, there's a phone moving in the middle of the screen. So that's basically how you can get started. Again, the purpose of our demonstration was not to teach you using these two softwares. What we wanted you to understand is that this is easy. All we have to do is get started and explore as we go along.
You can upload these models on Snapchat or even showcase them in the competitions held by Spark AR Studio.
So
We can
now,
even earn from our AR models if it gets enough views on Snapchat, Instagram, etc.
so as you can see, Sam, can we have the link again? As you can see, these are the platforms or links that we've shown you in this slide. What we promised in the beginning was to help you create your own filters for Snapchat and Instagram. It's very easy for Snapchat. By doing so, if you create your own augmented reality model using the two softwares and uploading it on the Snapchat, and it gets enough views, you can also earn. There are also various competitions in Spark AR Studios where whatever model that you create using the software and you upload it and enter in the competitions, you can get rewards up to 15 lakhs in a single competition. So what we wanted to focus on was how much scope you have for earning using this field, and also how underrated this field or domain is. Over to you, Sam.
It was after seeing the huge potential of augmented reality in today's world that companies started investing in this cutting edge technology. Pokemon Go, a popular game, utilized augmented reality for making it much interesting and reaching new heights. Google included 3D view in its searches, and BMW included augmented reality to make better cars and hence increase their profits. It's the hard work and determination of every augmented reality software developer that makes the AR dream turn into a reality.
Looking at a technology like AR, a general person thinks of it as the heights of technological advancements. Something very cool, but very far from our reach. Something we only see in movies, but reality is something else. As we have shown through our demonstration, it may look intimidating, but it's not very far from our reach. Google included AR in most of the technologies it introduced. From maps to a simple text search, AR is everywhere.
Just search for a Bengal tiger, golden retriever, or any plant, and you will get the option to view it in 3D. It will be shown to you in the form of an augmented reality image related to your search. In order to assist customers in selecting the best glass, Lenskart introduced 3D try-on feature wherein you could see yourself wearing the glasses shown on their website. Isn't that cool? The gaming industry, whose market size is estimated to be 435 billion by 2028, is also including augmented reality technology as much as possible to enhance user interactivity. Google Lens uses AR technology.
The most popular platform to integrate augmented reality in its business model is none other than Snapchat. That's right, you've been using augmented reality all along. Seeing Snapchat filters success, other platforms like Facebook and Instagram have developed their own filters.
If you do decide to get into augmented reality, your job title would be software developer and your average salary would be 6 lakhs per month and is expected to increase in the coming years. Augmented reality is becoming much widely available to customers. The number of active devices supporting augmented reality has reached 1.7 billion, which is incredible.
That brings us to the end of our expert session on augmented reality. We hope you have a clearer understanding of this cutting edge AR technology now. Our purpose for today was to plant a curiosity of this technology in your mind. The technology isn't developed to its immense potential yet. So much work needs to be done. That's where we come in. How can we integrate augmented reality in our lives to make it easier? Think about it. We look forward to your responses via mail. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isha and Sam, for such an insightful session. The link for the feedback form is floated in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form before leaving the session, as certificates will be provided on the basis of submission forms only. There will be another event on UI UX design by Varnika Singh and Krish Dwivedi, students of STME NMIMS Indore, on 24th July 2022. The registration link for the webinar will be shared in the chat box. Hoping for your active participation in our future webinars as well. Moving towards the end, I would like to thank our director, Dr. Prachi Gharpure, for providing us with the opportunity, Associate Dean STME, and convener of this webinar, Dr. Akhil Bangluwala, faculty team of the Sunday Tech series, for their constant guidance, and the organizing team for making it possible. Thank you.